Welcome back to the John Mendola Show here on WILK, 1020 in the morning. You can join us online, thejohnmendolashow.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube, The John Mendola Show. Again, we give you interviews every single day. It is thejohnmendolashow.com. I want to thank our friends at Mendocino's Pizzeria and Restaurante located in Daleville. Well, we're continuing the conversation. We do have some high school basketball coming up a little later in the show, but a lot of Dallas swimming this morning and a lot of great student athletes doing the job, and their head coach, Romaine Mosier. And Coach Mosier, let's get over to Jenny Leonard. Tell us a little about what Jenny has to offer.
Well, Jenny is also another versatile swimmer, and I could just put her anywhere that I need her in a meet, and she will do well. And I think, well, the one thing is, like, she is Melissa's twin, and when I first started coaching them when they were actually smaller, I used to see them at DMAC in these practices, and I couldn't tell them apart. And they're not identical, but I couldn't tell them apart. But now I can, but I still mix their names up sometimes.
All right, let's welcome in Jenny Leonard here on the show. And Jenny, talk a little bit about the fun you're having with your Dallas swim team this year.
I think this year is a lot different than any other year due to the fact that I'm now an upperclassman. So we do a lot more team bonding, and this year we did yoga. We went out for team breakfast. We did a team scavenger hunt. So I think like the dynamic is a lot different than past years, and I really enjoy it and hanging out with my team. Cross
country and track, couple other sports you do at Dallas?
Yeah.
And talk about the events in track you do.
I do the same events as Melissa. I do the 400, 800, 4x8, so about like middle distance.
And how about the bond that you have with her, and then, you know, what it's like to be around her all the time?
Me and Melissa, I would say, like, are very close because we do everything together. We do track together, we do swim together, like everything outside of school we do together. So over the years, we definitely have grown a bond that's unique to us because we are twins, and a lot of people don't get to experience it. So I really do appreciate it. One
a little better in certain subjects than the other, where maybe you could help each other?
I personally love chemistry, and she doesn't love it as much, so I help her with that. But she's really good at math, so she helps me with math. So it's like a vice versa kind of thing.
All right. They're both pretty challenging subjects when you get to the high school level. Of course, down the road, you're thinking maybe some engineering?
Yeah, I really want to be an engineer. My older sister's a chemical engineer, and I look up to her a lot, so I want to be something along that field.
Let's talk about your parents, and obviously you have some other role models that you look up to as well, but talk about the influence you get from your parents and the support of taking you places and doing all those things that parents do.
Yeah, my parents are, to me, the best people in the world. I love them so much. They do everything for me, and they're just so caring and kind, like with everything they do. Like for swim, they come to all my meets, they support me. So I really look up to them because I want to be like them. I'm older.
Well, I'm sure they're very proud of what you're doing, and your sister's doing, and your other sister as well. So keep up the good work, and congratulations on being a captain this year.
Thank you.
All right, Jenny Leonard there at Dallas area, one of the captains on this team, and you could hear the tremendous leadership that she has, and again, another very good student athlete. Let's get back over to Coach Mosier. Jalen Shaver is with us today, Coach, so tell us a little bit about Jalen.
Well, Jalen came to us her sophomore year. She didn't start at the team in her freshman year, but we're really glad that she came. Jalen is a diver, and she has really stepped up, and she actually won districts last year for diving, and that's, I believe, her goal to do the same again this year and continue on to states.
All right, we welcome in Jalen Shaver here on the John Mendola Show. And diving, how did you get involved with that, Jalen?
I used to do gymnastics for about 10 years. And then it started to get really hard with school. And I remember even in middle school, coach was like, try diving. And I was like, no, I'll stick to gymnastics. But I finally tried diving, and I loved it. It's really similar to gymnastics, and it's a lot less stressful on the joints, I'd say. You know, you're getting hurt in gymnastics all the time. Diving's like the same thing, except it's more fun and it hurts less.
And you always seem to hear that formula of gymnasts that become divers. You just happen to fit in that mold, but as you say, you're having a lot of fun at it. I would think that self-confidence has to be a big deal when you're a diver, because all eyes are on you. You're on the board. There's a concentration level. Take us through that, the confidence level, and sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't, I'm sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, for competition, swimmers, you know, everyone's cheering for them. There's a lot of noise. On diving, they always say quiet. It's completely silent when you go to dive. So it's definitely, you get really nervous. But my coach always says, your greatest competition is yourself. So you just really have to focus on yourself and doing your best dive possible, and you have to believe in yourself.
Let's talk about is there a name for a favorite dive that you have?
Yeah, I like twisters. I was always good at twisting in gymnastics. It kind of explains itself. You twist.
Gotcha.
And then in words, that one's a little bit more difficult. You stand on the end of the board and you jump up and you kind of go towards the board. It's kind of scary at first, but I love that dive. It's one of my favorite dives.
And I guess you get that feel if you go off the board the wrong way, or almost immediately that this dive isn't happening the right way. Is it pretty quick?
Yes. I mean, sometimes you don't expect it. Last year I was doing a reverse dive, and I kind of threw my head back and I fell on the board.
Ouch.
And then, yeah, my fingers hurt a lot. And then another thing is smacking, when you come out at a wrong time and, you fall flat on your back and your back gets really red. It hurts so bad. So diving maybe is a little bit less physical than swimming, and a less endurance, but definitely hurts a lot more when you smack.
Gotcha. Your stuff, the similar what the other athletes have written down, the sleepovers, the breakfasts, the dinners with your teammates. How about yoga? Is that something that the team does, or something you do on the side?
I mean, I've done it before. I used to do hot yoga. I think it's definitely fun. I think we all did great at the aerial yoga. It was definitely, I think, so fun for me because I've had gymnastics and diving, so it definitely fit right into my element.
Let's talk about the relationship with your brother Jackson, who's 20.
Yeah, he goes to Penn State Wilkes-Barre. He majors in electrical engineering. I love him as my brother, of course. We get in fights sometimes, but, he's my brother. I love him.
All right. Sounds very normal, so that's cool. The GPA rank, you're doing a great job in the classroom. Talk about working hard in the classroom and being so good academically.
It's really hard. Some nights I'm staying up really late until 3 a.m., because, I really work for my grades and try to do the best I can. It doesn't come naturally to me sometimes, so I really work for my grades. And I love biology. That's probably my favorite class. And so that one is easy for me to excel in because I like it.
And pre-med track or biochemistry in college is what you're thinking, huh?
Yep. Right now I either want to go pre-med, or I'm really into the conservation of animals, and I want to work with wildlife when I get older. So
awesome. And how about your folks? Let's talk about them and what they do for you.
My parents have sacrificed so much for me growing up. Gymnastics was always expensive, and sometimes if we didn't have the money, my parents would find the money because they loved me and they wanted me to be able to do what I wanted to do, and they supported me. When I quit gymnastics pretty late, they'd spend so much money on it. I was just like, I want to quit. And they still supported me anyways. So I love them for that.
That's a lot of love, I'm sure.
Yeah.
A big investment, but as
Definitely.
you said, they're just proud of you and what you're doing. Well, Jalen, great to catch up with you. Good luck in the diving and, of course, at the next level. And sounds like you got your act together, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Romaine Mosier, let's get back to you, the head coach at Dallas area. We have one more person to talk to. It's David Reinheimer in this particular segment. Then we'll get to 3 more swimmers at Dallas area. And Coach, I know your smiles ears to ears from just you have so many great student athletes. Let's talk a little bit about what David brings.
Well, David is predominantly a freestyler. He does the 200 and the 500 and the relay events. And he's learned a lot in the last couple of years, from his freshman year to his junior year now. And he's really come along.
All right. Let's welcome in with David Reinheimer here on the show. Again, a junior season, a captain on the team. So, David, let's talk about your events.
I normally swim the 500 and the 200, like Coach said. The 500 I need to get better at. I'm at a 530 right now, but I want to drop to like a 520, maybe even a 510.
Got it. 5 I like that. That's a new one. Student council, something that you're involved with at school.
I am involved in student council. This year we're hosting our district conference March 15th, if I believe, or it's 5th. One of those 2 days. I'm very excited for that. It's when a bunch of schools come to our come to our school, and we put workshops aside for them to teach them leadership skills.
Let's talk about your sister Samantha, who's at King's College.
Yeah, she's at King's College. She's in the physician's assistant program. She has been a role model to me, too. I didn't write that down, but she used to swim, but then she has a really bad shoulder problem, so she couldn't swim that much in college. And she had to drop out of swim. Now she's just doing physician's assistant.
That's a great program at King, so she'll wind up pretty darn good, I think, going forward. Let's talk about you in the classroom. What subjects do you like? And you're doing a really good job with an A average.
I like analysis with my homeboy Scotty Saba, and I like science. I'm not that great at it. I'm looking to get good at it, but I'm excited for my next class in anatomy and physiology.
All right, a couple big words there. Let's talk about your folks and what they do for you. Obviously, doing a great job with your sister, and I'm sure they're doing a great job with you as well.
Well, my parents have been supportive of me through my past. I get a lot of injuries. I'm very danger prone, I guess. So they've been kind of calm with that, paying all my medical bills. Recently, I just broke my hand.
Oh, my gosh.
From falling up the stairs, but I could still swim.
Okay. One flipper. You know what I mean? Sometimes that works. All right, David. Well, you go get him in the pool and keep up the good work in the classroom.
Thank you so much.
All right, David Reinhammer from Dallas area here on the John Mendola Show. A few more Dallas area swimmers to talk to. Great to hear their stories. And again, really good in the academic end, and they're doing pretty darn good in that pool as well. We come back, we'll talk about that, and then we'll get to some basketball here on the John Mendola Show. Getting excited here. Our basketball magazine ready to hit the press and come out. We'll get those to your locations in northeastern Pennsylvania that are always very supportive of us, including all McCarthy Tire locations in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, and Hazleton. Let's take a timeout. Let's head out now to our local State Farm insurance agent, Frank Sirokach break. Like a good neighbor, Frank Sirokach in Tunkhannock is there. We'll be back at WILK.